that. But I'm excited to get to talk to you guys. We've got a lot of you on here, and tonight's call is actually a call that I have done for a lot of other teams. And every time I do the call for these other teams, they're like, that's such a great call. Like, it's awesome. And I'm like, shit, I've never done this for my team and for us. So I'm like, why don't I do it for all of you guys? And it's not like anything like super special, but everyone gets a good kick out of it and they get so fired up and motivated. And I'm like, dude, I need to do that for you guys, not other people's teams. So I'm excited about that. Some of this will be familiar to you guys if you've been on the team for a little bit. Some of this is taken from personal development. Some of this is taken from just like the basics of what you need to do to succeed. So if you're brand new here, you'll get something out of it. If you are a veteran coach, you'll definitely get something out of this as well. I'll be teaching you things that you can use to help your coaches. And some of this also has come from the seminar that Emmy and Lauren had went to last year in March, some things that they brought back from the Brendon Burchard event. So it's like a lot of different things, but it's going to be awesome. And I just wanted to make sure that everyone's awake. So now that I know you are, because you're dancing, we can kick this off. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because I made some slides. And if you want my playlist, I can send it to you. Just ask me. My Pump Up playlist comes in handy when you're doing your power hours and stuff, or whatever it is that you need to get pumped up for. But I want you guys to focus on 3 different areas during this call. So I'm going to dive right into it. I'm not going to take any time to do recognition and stuff because I did that this morning in the team page and we have all that stuff going on. So I wanted to dive right into this. There are 3 areas in your business that are, I'll make sure I'm recording before I go. Okay, I'm just kidding. All right, so there's 3 areas in your business that you really want to focus on, and having a handle on these 3 areas is going to create success for you. It's going to create success for your team because they're going to see you doing it and they're going to mimic your behavior. So the first area that I want to look at is your goals. And you can't have a business if you don't have goals. Like, there's no point to have a business if you don't have a goal or a reason or a why behind why you're doing it. People don't start companies just because they want to do it for fun or they were bored one day and they're like, oh, maybe I'll just start a business because I'm bored. Like, you have goals for your business. So you really want to think about what it is that you want to accomplish. And then once you have that, you have to break it down daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually, and make it so that you can easily digest that big goal. So if you have a goal of being a diamond coach, or you have a goal of being a 5-star elite coach, or you have a goal of being, a superstar diamond coach, all of those goals are all the same because they all start out as a big goal. And then when you take that goal and you break it down, you can accomplish these much easier because you know what you have to do each week, each day, each month, each quarter, etc. So no matter what your goal is, everyone has different goals on this team, and that's okay. That's the beauty of this business. But no matter what it is, the way to get to that goal is the same, one step at a time, breaking it down day by day, week by week, month by month. What do you have to do to get to that bigger goal? So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. But I wanted you to kind of think about your goals now so that as I go through, you kind of have an idea of how you're going to break yours down. The second area of your business are your activities. And this goes back to your goals. So whatever your goals are is going to determine what your activities are. And your activities should be based off of what your goals are. So they're codependent. If you have the goal of being a diamond coach, or if that's your goal right now versus someone who's shooting to be a 5-star elite coach, your activities may look different because your goals are different. And while they're both big goals, they both have different levels of activities that you need to be doing for each one because they are at different levels. So your activities that you're doing, invites, follow-ups, posting, your vital behaviors, those are the same, but the amount or the magnitude of those behaviors and activities is going to be dependent on what it is that your goal is. So if you just want to make $160 or whatever a month and you want to get your shakes covered and that's your goal, your actions are going to look very different than somebody who wants to leave their full-time job and do this full-time. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay. And then your mindset is the cornerstone of all of it. So how are you feeding your mind? Are you feeding your mind? Are you forgetting about personal development? Are you making the time for it? And are you doing the kind of personal development that is right for you? So those are the three areas. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into them, into each one, but I wanted to kind of set it up. Oh, shit. I wanted to kind of set it up that way. So when you're looking at your goals and you're setting goals, I want you to, when you set a goal, ask yourself, is that goal big enough? Like, are you shortchanging yourself? Are you just setting a goal that's easy because you know you can achieve it and you're not pushing a little bit further because that's scary? Or are you setting big, audacious goals? Because everyone on this team, everyone on this call right now, anyone watching the recording, you have the ability to do incredible things with this company, with this business, with your own personal lives. And this business can help you achieve whatever big goal you have, whatever life goal you have. And I know that because it's helped me do so many things that I wanted to do in my life, and so many other coaches in the network. It's helped them do all these awesome things in their life that maybe aren't directly related to coaching. Maybe it's not diamond coach, emerald coach, elite coach, but financial freedom, buying my dream home, retiring from my teaching job, like all of those kind of things. This business allows that to happen in your life. So I want you to, when you set a goal, really ask yourself, am I setting this goal because I know it's easy and I can achieve it? Or am I really pushing myself to something that it's going to be challenging? Yeah, it's going to be hard, but doing this and achieving this goal is going to feel a million times better that I did it versus something that I already kind of knew I could do it. And I just picked that goal because it was easy. So don't set easy goals. Not that easy goals are bad. I'm the kind of person that, like, if I do something, I write it down and cross it off because I did it, like, because it feels good. Setting smaller goals along the way and easy goals that you know you can accomplish, those are great, but it's not okay to only set those kind of goals. You always want to have like a bigger push goal that scares you, that makes you want to puke when you think about it, because that's what's going to keep you going. That's what's going to keep you moving forward in your business, in your life, in your coaching career, and all of that. So some goals that you can push for as a coach, and maybe you don't know what this is or you've never heard of it before, that's okay, because I didn't know what half of these things were when I said I was going to do them, and I just did the actions that I knew were going to get me to these goals, and that's how I achieved them. So maybe someday you want to be an elite coach or a premier coach. Maybe you want to be a 2-star diamond, 5-star diamond, 10-star, 15, maybe top 10 is on your list. It's been on mine for 4 years so far. Maybe you want to be in the Millionaires Club. Who doesn't want to be in that club? That's a club I want to be in. And I don't know anyone who would say they don't want to be in that club. Financial Freedom Award. Maybe you want to just live that no boss life, retire from your job, travel more, buy a house, buy a car, all those things. Think about those. Even if you don't know what any of those things are, research them, look them up. And then when you know what they are and you have it, like you have an idea, like maybe you want to be a 2-star diamond coach. Once you know what that is and you know how to get there, all you have to do is take your actions that you're doing and make them match what that goal is. And it doesn't matter what goal you pick. That's just how you're going to achieve any goal that you set in this business. Just taking the actions and making sure that they're matching the same level as the goal that you set. So once you have your goals and you have to decide what your actions are, you want to make sure you're structuring your day in a way that is setting you up for success, that is setting you up to accomplish all of the most important things on your to-do list and not put them off. So for example, personal development, that's important. If you're someone who skips that, and I got in a habit of doing that myself, I'll be honest, I had to make that the very first thing I do every single morning, or else I won't do it. And I have to put that at the forefront of my day. So that's literally the first thing I do every morning. I wake up, I come to my computer, which is literally, I close my computer, I take my book, my daily devotional book, my journal, and my personal development book, and I put it right on top of my computer. So I don't even open my computer in the morning. I take my books, I go on the porch, and I read, I do my journaling, I do all of that stuff first thing in the morning. And that for me was that thing that I just didn't think was important and didn't have the time to do, but I needed to put that into my day. So I do that first. If you're somebody who puts off your workout, then don't wait till you get home from work to do it. Wake up a little earlier, get your workout done, log it in your challenge tracker app, and then go on with your day. Get it over with. Get that thing done that is hard for you to get done first thing in the morning. And when I was a teacher, because now my life is very different, and you're probably thinking, oh, easy for you to say, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, right? That wasn't my life all the time. That's a life that I have because of the sacrifices that I made for however long. Like it seems so long ago. It was only almost 4 years ago, because my anniversary is on the 22nd of this month. But I didn't always have this life. I started off where many of you are, with a full-time job. I was also a grad student, so I had night classes. And I knew if I came home from grad school at 10:30 at night, there was no way in hell I was working out. No way. So I woke up at 4:30 every morning because I knew I had no choice and I had to get that workout done. So sometimes it's gonna suck. I'm gonna be honest. It's gonna suck, but it's not always going to suck. You may have to go through a little period of suckiness to get to the life that you want to live, so that you have total freedom over your schedule, if that is a goal of yours. I know that for many of you it might not be, but if that is a goal of yours, you're going to have to go through a time where your life's going to suck for a little bit, and you're going to be tired, and you're going to have to wake up earlier than you want to, and you're going to have to go to bed later than you want to. But it's going to be worth it when you can look back and say, wow, like I have total freedom over my life, and I did this because I sacrificed and I created that for myself. Now, if you're working full-time and you are in the car and you have a family to take care of, you've got all these other things, and you have this business, it's essential that you schedule everything. And I know sometimes it's not always perfect. Like, life's not perfect. Something happens. Like for me, for example, my car wouldn't start today. My husband had to Uber to work. Like, you can't plan for that kind of stuff. But you want to have at least some sort of outline of your day every day, so that some days you will have a perfect day, and that's awesome. So have more better days than not good days. And that's only going to happen if you plan out your day. And I'm home all day, and I still plan out my day every day, what I'm doing every hour of the day, so that I don't find myself fooling around and wasting time doing stuff that's not productive. So if you're at work and you have a lunch break and you're eating lunch for 30 minutes, that is a time that you can dedicate to either doing invites, maybe cleaning out your inbox, maybe going through people who are liking your posts and inviting them. Like, whatever the activity that you choose, you can do those on your lunch break. I don't suggest doing those kind of things when you're driving, but you can listen to podcasts. You can listen to recordings of team calls. You can listen to National Wake Up Call recordings. You can listen when you're driving. So anytime that you can do two things at once, especially when you're super stressed and super busy, do it. It's going to make the most of your time. And I literally listened to 2 hours worth of personal development every single day, because I had an hour drive to work and an hour drive home every single day. 100 miles I put on my car every day. 100 miles worth of personal development every single day, because I wasn't going to sit there and waste my time in the car when all I could think about was, how could I be using this time productively? So if you're ever in a situation and you feel like you're wasting time, figure out what you can do for your business. Maybe you're standing in line at the post office, which always takes like 15 hours. Use that time to go through your inbox and do those kind of activities, and make sure that you have an idea of what you're doing before you go on your phone, so you're not just scrolling and like wasting time in line when you can actually be doing something productive. And one more thing I did want to mention when we're on this part of structuring your day: give time to the people who are putting in the work. And this may not be applicable to everyone right now on this call, because maybe you don't have a team yet, but I want to tell you this now so that you don't get into the situation that I have been in the past, where I was trying to drag people along and make people do things that they didn't want to do and they didn't have any interest in doing. And that was draining for me and the other person. And it was not fun. And it made this business something that I didn't enjoy doing, because I felt like every single person that I was trying to help, was trying to get them to coach, was trying to help them grow their business, dragging them through the mud and they're not reciprocating, they're not doing anything, that is draining. That takes away time from your business, and that's not something that you want to do. So you want to let your coaches know, and my coaches know this. They know that if they're not showing up and they're not like sending me their trainings, and they're not like hitting Success Club, and they're not, engaging in the team page or on team calls or doing any of that, that I'm not going to have a call with them, because I'm going to tell them, go back and do the stuff that I told you to do. Like, it's going to be a waste of both of our time. And if they know that from the beginning, then they can't get mad. They know you're going to match their pace. You're going to walk with them. You're going to run with them. You want to work with the willing. Working with the willing changed everything for me. I stopped feeling guilty about those coaches who I signed up who weren't doing anything and who weren't succeeding. And I took that blame off of myself, because it wasn't my fault. I gave them the tools. I equipped them with everything they needed to succeed, and they didn't use it. So if you're ever feeling like as you start to grow your team, and you don't put that guilt on yourself, as long as you gave them everything that they need to succeed, you plug them into the training, you check in on them a couple of times, and they're not doing anything, it's no longer your fault. You've done all that you can do. So I want to let you guys know that now, before you get to the point where you've got these big teams, because everyone will have a big team someday. And I don't want you to ever feel guilty for somebody else's failure, because it's never your fault, as long as you have equipped them. If you just didn't do anything for them, then maybe. But as long as you equipped them and you gave them the tools, and it's a lack of resourcefulness on their part, then you shouldn't feel guilty for that at all. And then you also want to focus, especially if you're trying to build and you're trying to grow a team and you've got these big audacious goals, you want to focus at least 70%, if not more, of your time on sharing this opportunity, inviting people to be a part of your challenge groups, inviting people to be a part of your team, talking to people who are already challengers and asking them if they ever considered being a coach. Like, that's where most of your activity and action is going to be, sharing the shit out of this amazing opportunity that you have in front of you. Because without this, all of your lives would be different, I guarantee you. And if nobody invited you, you wouldn't be here either. So you have to remember that every single day when you're like, I don't want to invite them. I'm nervous. They look scary. I'm afraid they're going to say something. Maybe they'll say no. Oh my God, God forbid they say no. Send it anyway. Send it anyway, because you never know. That person could be your next best friend. That person could be your bridesmaid in your wedding. I would have nobody in my wedding if I was afraid to invite all of these people. Seriously. I'd have my sister and my sister-in-law and one other person, and that's it. So don't ever be afraid to do that. And then you want to have a system. You can't just throw spaghetti at the wall and hope that it sticks. You can't just use your Facebook inbox as your tracking system. You can't use like old dirty napkins and a receipt from dinner and like another paper that you have in your kitchen, and like, that's my organization system. You have to have some sort of system. It does not have to be complicated. It does not have to be electronic. It can be a notebook, and you have a system in that notebook where if somebody, you invite them, you write their name. If they respond, maybe you circle their name, or maybe you put a line under it or a star, whatever. If they're interested, maybe you have something else to signify that. If they sign up, maybe you highlight them, because that's fun. So just whatever works for you. I can recommend some other systems if you're not a pen and paper person and that drives you insane. I do believe that Asana is a great tracking system. Streak is awesome. It's a little bit more intricate and detailed. So if you're someone who gets easily stressed, I don't suggest that right now. But there are tons of ways you can track your business. And the most important thing is that like the way that you're using works for you. So this is important because you don't want people to fall through the cracks. You don't want to invite somebody and then never follow up with them. You don't want to have someone say, yeah, I'm ready, send me the link, and then you forget to send them the link. Like, duh, and I've done that, so I can say that. You don't want to do that. And that was before I had a system to make sure that I wasn't doing those silly things. So the last thing I wanted to touch on is as far as these three topics is personal development. Obviously, you should have heard about it. You should be doing it. If this is your first call, maybe you haven't learned about it yet, but personal development is one of those things that is not optional. It's like brushing your teeth. You don't choose to brush your teeth or choose not to unless you don't want to have teeth. If you don't want to have a really, really good mindset, then don't do personal development. But if you want to have the right mindset to build this business and be successful with it, then you're going to do it. And you're going to do the personal development that is for you at the time that you're in your life. So I will be honest with you. I have started books and I have closed them and put them away because I'm like, this is not what I need right now. And that's okay. You don't have to finish a book. If you're trying to read a book and it sucks and it's not speaking to you and it's not connecting with you, close it, put it away, and maybe you can pick it up at another time and it'll speak to you more then. And I've done that. I've picked up books that I closed like a year ago and now it speaks to me. So don't think that it has to be, I got to finish this book because I said I was going to finish this book. Like if it's not working for you, get rid of it, pick a new book. Also, Audible is great. Hoopla is a free audio kind of app thing. If you have a library card, you can connect it to that and you can do like free audio. So that's always a good way to do that as well. But you want to make sure that you are doing this sounds stupid, but you're doing your personal development in a place that makes you happy. So if you are, for me, I like to go out on my porch. I don't know, just it feels nice out there. It's a good environment. It's a positive environment. It's quiet. It's just me, the sunrise, my dog, and my personal development. If I try to sit on the couch in the morning and read my book, I wouldn't get that same feeling as I get sitting out on my porch reading it. I know it's so silly, but I feel a difference. And I actually look forward to sitting out on my porch in the morning with my coffee and my book versus sitting on the grungy couch in the dark. Like that's not exciting for me. So if it's something where you have to make it fun and you have to make it something you look forward to, pick a nice location that feels good to you. Maybe you like to read before you go to bed. Maybe you want to do it in the morning. But whatever you do, make sure you schedule it and you're consistent with it. So doing it at the same time every day is just going to make it a habit that you're gonna. It's almost like your shake. Like you go a day without your shake, you're like, oh my god, I'm so bloated. What's wrong with me? It's because you didn't have your shake. So when your mindset's shitty, it's probably because you didn't do your personal development that day. So you want to get to the habit of doing it every day at the same time, so that it becomes like a ritual. Okay, so this is just funny. I wanted to just be real with you guys. So as coaches, like I've been a coach for 4 years and I've seen things come and go. Sometimes people are like, yeah, Facebook's where it's at. Then it's like, oh, everyone has to be on Snapchat. And when people are like, oh, get on Snapchat, people are like, wow, I don't want to go on Snapchat. I don't know how to use it. I don't know what it is. I don't even have the app. I got to download another app. And they're like whining about it. Well, guess what? People who went on Snapchat and did that shit, they signed up coaches. They grew their teams on Snapchat, right? Instagram stories comes out. This is like not recently, but when it did, same thing. People are like, oh, I'm already on Snapchat. I don't want to go on Instagram stories too. That's too much work. I don't want to be on 2 platforms. I'm just going to stay over here. Snapchat's better. Anyway, it's the original, the OG. Like nobody's going to be on Instagram stories, blah, 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 right? That was me. So I didn't go on Instagram stories right away. And I whined about it and I kind of missed the boat a little bit on that. So don't ever get upset about new stuff. IGTV just came out. Don't complain about it. Get on it. Get your ass on there. Make your own show. I don't know. I got 2 up there. I don't know how many people watch them, but I'm on there. And you want to, when new stuff comes out, use it. Get on there. Be the first one on there. Doesn't matter if it's the best video in the world or the worst video in the world. All that matters is you're there. So don't complain about new things that are coming out. The old ways of building this business 4 years ago, like the way that I used to do stuff. And if you don't believe me and you have a lot of time, and I don't suggest this because it's a big waste of time, but if you scroll all the way down to my Instagram when I started, if you want to laugh a little bit and you're like, wow, that shit actually worked. Yeah, that worked 4 years ago. That shit's not going to work anymore now. And if I kept doing that because that's what worked 4 years ago, I wouldn't be where I am I would probably have quit because I would be so stressed because nothing's working. Because if I was doing stuff that worked 4 years ago, it's not going to work now. So that sometimes the old ways of doing things, although they're the ways we're the most comfortable with, they're not going to work. And you have to change things. But we don't have to completely change things. So, maybe, one platform versus another. We don't have to completely change the way we're doing things. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We just have to, like I like to say, reinflate the tires. The tires are flat, put a little bit more air in them. That's all that you're doing. Just that way is not working, put a little more air in it, change it, switch it around a little bit, do something different, be original. Don't complain about what you're doing not working. Be a big girl or big boy, if there's any guys on this call, and change it. And you'll see that sometimes the smallest little things, like for example, putting your hashtags in your comment versus putting them in the caption. Like sometimes one way works, sometimes another way works. Like you have to play around with it. You have to be okay with trying things and failing and trying something else and failing again and trying something and then finally finding that thing that works. And then that thing that works might work for 2 months, and guess what? Instagram algorithm changes again and you got to figure something else out. And that's just how this business is. And the more we know that going into it, the less we're going to be like upset about, oh shit, my post got like 5 likes and it's all my family members. We have to change things when things aren't working and not just keep doing the same thing that isn't working over and over and over again. So this is the thing that I was talking about earlier that Emmy and Lauren had brought back from Brendan's event. And I really love this, and I wanted to bring it back up because I know a lot of you guys were not on this call when Emmy and Lauren had talked about this because it was a while ago. There's a lot of new faces, and I feel like this is super applicable to the journey of being a coach. So I want you to think about your business specifically as I'm going through each of these phases here. And I want you to think about a time in your business where you felt the way that I'm explaining. Does that make sense? And whenever you think of a time, I want you to raise your hand, okay? And then we'll see how many hands are raised, so keep it up. All right, so we're going to start with the cage life. So the cage life is essentially synonymous to taking an animal, like whatever your favorite animal in the world is. Let's say a rabbit. I don't know. I had a dream about a big rabbit last night, so that's what I thought about. So you take a rabbit and you throw it in a cage and you lock it up. And the rabbit is scared because it doesn't know you. You just kind of took it, threw it in this cage, locked it up, left it, and it's all by itself. It's afraid. And for the first probably 10 to 15 minutes or more of this rabbit's time in the cage, it's probably going to try to get out because it's scared shitless. And it's going to start trying to scurry its way out. Maybe I should have used a more violent animal like a gorilla, but it's going to be trying to get out of the cage and rip the cage open, and it's going to put all of its effort into getting out of that cage. I want you to think about being a new coach, okay? When you're a new coach, maybe you didn't know the person that you signed up with. Maybe you just met them on Instagram. They are that random person that took you and threw you in a cage and locked you in there and said, okay, go build a business, right? Essentially telling that rabbit, figure your way out of this cage. It's the same thing. Although the difference is your coach is there to help you. That person who threw that animal in the cage is gone. Now, thinking about your business and comparing this animal to you, the animal is afraid, it's frustrated, it's trying really hard to get out of this cage, it's doing everything, and then eventually it's going to give up and just going to sit there and just oh, well, I'm going to live in here all my whole life. Gonna live in this cage. This is what my life's gonna be. Then it's gonna get pissed. It's gonna get mad. It's gonna get bitter and just gonna be so annoyed and angry at that person that put him in there, right? So as a new coach, you're thrown into this business. You don't know what Success Club is. You don't know what Emerald is. You're hearing all these weird terms this person's telling me to do this. This person's telling me I got to sign up 2 people and hit Emerald. My coach is telling me I got to hit Success Club. I don't even know how to find my workouts on Beachbody On Demand. I don't know how to do any of this stuff. And you're but you're trying. You're inviting. You're saying, invite? Okay, I'm going to go do it. I'm going to go invite. I invited 100 people. I'm going to go follow up. I'm going to go post. You're doing all the things, but you're not seeing the results yet. So you start to feel like, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I'm just not meant to be a coach. Yeah, this is hard, man. This is really hard. I don't know if I can do this. You're going to give up. You're going to sit there and be like, yeah, should I quit? How do I cancel? How do I cancel my account? You're going to feel like this is not for you, and you're going to get bitter. Then you're like, damn, that person, my coach, man, like, it's her fault that I can't succeed at this business. It's her fault. You're going to get all pissed and bitter. And I hate to tell you, it's not their fault. And the feelings you're feeling are perfectly normal because you are trying and you're doing all these things and you're not getting anywhere. That is part of this business, right? I'm sure everyone has felt that way in this business. I felt this way in this business. Everyone's hand should be up. You're doing all the things. You're not seeing any results paying off, and you're like, shit, maybe this isn't for me. I almost quit. I did. I almost quit December 2014, December. I almost quit because I didn't have Success Club. That's why I almost quit, honestly. It's so dumb. And I'm really, really glad that I did not quit because that would have completely ruined my entire life. But anyway, so this is the first phase. And the reason why I wanted to compare this to being a brand new coach is because I know that everyone, whether you're brand new or maybe you've been around for a while, you could feel these feelings. You could feel frustrated with your business. You could feel like, man, I'm not cut out for this. You could feel like this isn't for you because you're doing all the work. You're not getting the reward. You're doing all the work. You're not getting the reward. But eventually you will. So I want to encourage you to keep this in mind when you're doing all of the work and feeling like you're not getting anything. You will. Now, this next part that I want to kind of talk about are those people who are, they're hitting Success Club, they're cruising, they're hitting Emerald, maybe they hit Diamond. Maybe they hit Diamond a year ago or 2 years ago, and they're still Diamond. They're still holding that rank. They have a couple of coaches who are close, or, they got some coaches working the business. Maybe they have a bunch of discount coaches, but they are successful. They are making money. They are hitting Success Club. Their team is successful overall, but they're not where they want to be. They're still not satisfied. They're comfortable, they're okay, they're doing well, they're not failing by any means. They're doing well. They're just not where they want to be. And they don't know what to do to get there. And it's kind of like there's a cap over their business as to, well, I'm successful, so I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and I'm trying really hard, but they're just not breaking through that surface. So this is the comfortable life. You're content, you're happy with where you are, you're hitting Success Club, you're growing your team, but maybe it's not growing at the rate that you want it to grow. So how many people have ever felt that way in their business? Like, you're like, I'm not failing, I'm just not like where I want to be, right? Anyone? Yeah, lots of hands. I mean, I felt all of these things, so. All right. Now, this last one is where you all want to be. We all want to be in this little bucket over here. And these are the coaches who are excited about life, excited about their business, pumped up about working with their team and helping them grow. And their team is growing and thriving, and they have coaches hitting Emerald and Diamond, and their coaches are hitting Emerald and Diamond, and their team's blowing up and exploding, and everyone's on team calls, and everyone's showing up every day, and everyone's excited to be there, and their team's climbing the ladder, and all these awesome things are happening for these people, and they're making bonuses, they're making money. Like, their life is like the life that everybody wants to live, right? How many people want to live that life? How many people want to be that coach over there in the charged life? Yeah, everyone's hand should be up, right? So why aren't all coaches in the network there? Why aren't all coaches in the network living the charged life if that's the life that they want to live? Because a lot of them probably, I want to guess maybe 80% of the working coaches, or maybe less, maybe 50-50, but a large portion of coaches who are working this business are in the comfortable life. I'd have to guess that, because they're successful, they're okay with where they are, they're just not at that charged life. And the reason I think that they're not at the charged life is because they are okay with being average. They have made a decision that they're okay with being where they are. They're okay with that. And I'm not saying that, there's anything wrong with being happy with where you are. I feel like everyone should have a drive in them to keep being better and improving and being the best that they can be. And this is not to call out anybody at all. I just want to say that I do this call for like lots of teams, and I say that on every team too. And I don't even know the people on those teams. I'm like, I'm not calling anybody out on your team. I'm just saying this is a personal opinion of mine, that everyone in this company can be those in that charge life. You can be whatever it is you want to be. You can make as much money as you want to make in this business. You can grow as big as you want to grow in this business, but you have to want it. And you not only have to want it, you have to want it every single day. You have to want it on the days where you don't want to get out of bed, where you don't want to talk to people, where you don't want to even put regular, real people clothes on. You have to want it, and you have to show up every day. And I think that's where the discrepancy lies between the people who are like thriving and the teams that are thriving and the teams that are just kind of doing okay. I think it's just a mental block that maybe they feel like they can't be there because that's not them. But I'll tell you one thing, that's us. We are that. We are fully capable of being the whatever best team in this company. I believe that we are the best team, but I'm kind of biased because I love you guys. But I'm just saying, like, whatever it is that we want to do as a whole and individually, we can do it. We just have to have that belief in ourselves. That's where it starts. And then taking the right actions every day to get to that goal. And just not being afraid to set those goals, not being afraid to say things out loud that make you want to vomit about your goals and your life and your team, like not being afraid to do those things and not being afraid to ask for help and not being afraid to lean on each other and help each other grow together, because the only way that everyone on this team is going to live their best life is if we get there together. There's the way that we can succeed is if everyone achieves their goal. And to me, that's success. It's not a successful team if one person is living their best life. Everyone should be living their best life or a version of their best life on their way to living their best life. That is the way that I look at this. And I know that everyone has individual goals and not everybody wants to do this full time. And that's fine. I'm not saying that doing this full time is living your best life. Maybe for some of you, it's not. You're like, I don't want to be home all day with my kids. Are you kidding me? Like maybe you don't want to be that. But as a whole, we can level up and we can be there. And when we're there, we have to just keep that fire going, and we have to help make sure that everyone who comes onto this team knows that we are destined for great things and we can do amazing things if we all have that belief in ourselves that we can get there and we can do it. So I wanted to just kind of break that down and help you see that there are ebbs and flows. There are times where you feel like you're living the cage life and you're like, damn, like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And there's going to be times where you're like, I'm just okay with where I am. But the time, you want to make sure that you're most of the time wanting to improve and wanting to be better than you were the day before. And that is how you are going to see the level of success that you want, regardless of what that level of success looks like to you. In order to get there, you have to be on. You have to be charged. You have to be fired up. You have to be excited. And that's going to come through in your social media. That's going to come through in your conversations. That's going to come through in the way you mentor your team as you start to grow your team. You have to be charged and on point. And yeah, like I said, it's okay. Some days you're going to be over here, but most of the time you want to make sure that you're over here and you know you're setting that tone for what you want to create for yourself and for your future team. And then this last thing reinforces everything that I just said. And I didn't make this, Tony Robbins did, but I made the slide, so it should count for something. So this is the success cycle. And I think that this is super applicable to everyone's business, whether this is something that can help you or whether this is something that you can use to help your coaches. It's going to come in handy. So I can take a screenshot and send it to you or post it in the team page or something, but it's super important to understand how this works. So everyone on this team and everyone in this world, let's say everyone in the world has the potential to do awesome shit. Okay. But a lot of people don't. And the reason for that is this success cycle is going to show you exactly why. So let's say that you believe you don't really have you don't believe in your potential very much, right? So if you signed up and you're like, I don't really know if I can do this. I don't believe that I'd be a great coach, but I'm just going to do it anyway. The action that you're going to take is going to be reflected upon how much potential you believe you have. So if you think you're not going to be good, you're probably not going to try very hard because you think, well, I'm going to suck anyway. And then when you don't take action or you don't take massive action, the results that you get are always based on the action that you take. So your results are not going to be good because your action was lame because you thought you couldn't do it. And you're just reinforcing that belief of, I can't do this, because you're not putting the effort forward and creating the results. So it's never like just action and results. It always starts with belief and potential. If you don't think you can do this, you're not going to work hard and you're not going to put that effort forward. So I do want to flip this though, because I feel like there are people who do believe that they can succeed. They know they have the potential, right? They're taking massive action. They're inviting every day. They're following up. They're doing their posts. They're doing stories. They're doing everything they're told to do, and they're not seeing the results. And they're like scratching their head like, what the hell? Like, I'm doing this. I'm taking action. I'm not seeing results. I'm taking action every day. I'm not seeing results. And that, my friends, that comes down to your belief again. So if you're taking action every day, you're not seeing results, I guarantee you, whether you know it or not, you don't have the belief in yourself that you can do this. And usually it's one of two things. Either one, you're not doing your personal development, or two, you're doing the wrong kind of personal development. But you really have to have that belief. Like, if you don't have belief in this business, you will not go anywhere. You might go a little bit, you might like go a little bit, then you're going to skid out because you're not going to have that belief continuing to propel you forward. So the potential that you believe you have, or the potential that you possess, that we all have, like we all have that much we have, we're good there, is going to be, the actions that you take are dependent on that. You take massive action, you get massive results. If you take a little bit of action, you get a little bit of results. You half-ass your action, you get half-ass results. Same thing with your workouts. You work out hard every day, you're going to get better results. You follow the meal plan, you're going to get better results. If you kind of sort of follow the meal plan and like stop the workout halfway through, your results are going to be reflective of that. And then it all comes back down to that belief, whether or not you believe you can be successful in this business. So I want to ask you guys a couple questions. You don't have to answer them right now, but I just want you to think about these. Oops, what am I doing here? But to leave this call on a fired up note, instead of just everyone going back and saying, that was a great call, that was so awesome, and then like not doing anything, because that was just a waste of your 45 minutes. I want you to think about, go back to those lives and think about what kind of life are you living now? Like, what does your life look like now? Write it down. Like, I'll be 100% honest with you. I'm still not 100% satisfied with my life right now. And it's okay to not be satisfied. I think that satisfaction and being 100% satisfied all the time breeds like complacency. And when you're complacent in life, you're not moving anywhere either. So I think it's okay to crave more and want more. I'll be honest, I don't want to live in an apartment the rest of my life. I would like to have an extra vehicle, so when shit happens, like, oh crap, the car doesn't work, my husband doesn't have to Uber to work. There's a lot of things that I want to change in my life, and the only way that those things are going to happen and they are going to change is if I know where I am right now and I'm like, okay, this is where I am, this is where I want to go, this is what I'm going to do to get there. So I want you to write down, what does your life look like now on one piece of paper, and then write down on another sheet of paper, or you can fold it in half if you want to save trees. What kind of life do you want to live? And what kind of life will you be living someday? Because this business has the potential to take you to that life that you want to live. So that's an activity for you to do if you really want to take the most out of this call. Also, what are you doing in your business that's no longer working? Maybe you are sending invites a certain way and nobody's responding. Or maybe you're like using your stories in a certain way that's not really working. Or maybe you used to post videos all the time and they weren't getting a lot of they're not getting any more engagement, or maybe used to do sneak peeks and those aren't working anymore, or whatever it is. I'm sure there's something in your business that is not working anymore or feels like it's not as productive as it has been. Instead of just saying, oh, this doesn't work, I want you to look at that thing that's not working and I want you to create an action plan to fix it. I want you to say, okay, the way I'm inviting right now is not working. So what can I do to change that? How can I find the right kind of people? Maybe I'm inviting the wrong people. Maybe I'm not inviting my tribe. Maybe I am not giving enough information on my page so that when I invite people, maybe they don't understand what I'm talking about. Maybe my invite is too generic and doesn't really connect with people. Like little things like that. And your action plan to fix it is how to tweak those things. Ask yourself questions to figure out where the problem lies so that you can fix it. And then the last thing is, where are you self-sabotaging? And all of these things that I'm asking you guys to do are things that I struggle with too. Like, I'm not perfect. Nobody on this team is perfect. Nobody in this company is perfect, although some people look perfect all the time and their lashes always look perfect and they always look perfect. I hate to tell you, their lives are not perfect. Nobody's life is perfect at all times. So I struggle with things too. And one thing that I struggle with is self-sabotage. And I do things that I know is going to make me feel like crap, and I do them anyway. And then I'm like, oh, why did I do that? So I want you to think about, where are you self-sabotaging in your business, in your life? If it's with your fitness journey, are you buying the stuff that you crave? Are you buying chocolate? Are you buying Dunkaroos or whatever it is that you really like? Are you buying that stuff? Do you have it on hand? That is self-sabotaging your results. Are you following a ton of coaches and that's making you feel like an inferior coach? Are you following top coaches and you're like, wow, like that, if some people can follow coaches and that motivates them, but if it doesn't and it makes you feel worse about where you are, don't follow them. If you are, I don't know, if you're just, comparing, or if you are, if you know that you have an hour of time when you get home from work and you choose to watch Netflix versus choosing to work your business, that's self-sabotage. You're like limiting your success because you're not using your time in a way that's effective. So there's a lot of ways you can look at this. But I want you to think about an area in your life and your business where you are self-sabotaging so that you can be conscious of it and you stop doing it. Because when you stop doing it, it's going to change the way you feel. It's going to help you be more successful, and it's going to help you be more productive with your time. So I see the chat was blowing up the whole time. I wasn't ignoring you guys, but I have squirrel brain and I can't read things and then I'll disappear and get off track. So I'm going to check those out now, but does anyone have any questions they want to unmute themselves and ask? That's all that I had. So I hope that was helpful. And I didn't just go off on rants. Anyone?
That was super helpful. I took tons of notes personally. I'm very fired up for the homework.
Good. I should take Energize before every call.
Yeah, you were lit.
Lit. No, okay. Let me see what's in this thing here. Yeah, Emmy, doing your invites before you get out of bed in the morning is being a little bitch and putting them off. Like Grant Cardone, right? Hashtag don't be a little bitch.
We're all listening to 10X rule,
yeah.
So.
Yeah. Those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not calling you guys bitches. I'm just reciting something from our PD. So, all right, what else here? Yeah, Alexa, same thing, same. You have that written on your whiteboard? That's funny. Morgan. Okay, Invest. I'm just seeing if there's any questions in here. Zoe, so may I have options of personal development? That's 1, mindless, and 2, hands-on work. I listen to stuff while working for delivery dudes, but I need something to start my day out positive. Sure. So what I do, and this is totally just, I'm just sharing what I do. You don't have to do what I do, but I read a page of a daily devotional in the morning. So that's obviously something that, if that's something that you're into, then you could do that. And I also have a book that I read for like 10 to 15 minutes. So if you need book suggestions, Girl Wash Your Face is great. I'm almost done with that one. I'm actually in between 2 books, so I'm also reading Miracle in the Middle. And the other book that I recently read, No Limits by John Maxwell, is also really great. But just like I said, in the morning, like after this call, after I upload this call to YouTube and like I shut down my shop, I close the computer, I take my planner, I take my book, I take my journal, I put it on top of my computer. So like first thing in the morning, I go to my desk, I take my shit, I go out to the porch. It's just like an automatic reaction. I don't even have to think about it anymore. If I had to wake up and gather like all of these items from all of these places, I wouldn't. Your brain can't function in the morning. So having everything laid out helps me. And then what else do you have here? Something to start your day off positive. So if you want to listen to something to start your day off positive, if you don't want to read, something that you can also do are the Darren Dailies, which is Darren Hardy. There's like a text thing. You can text it. I don't know the website offhand, but you put your phone number in and he'll text you every morning. You'll get like a little video. I know that Lauren, I don't know if she's still on this. Is she here? Yeah. Lauren does the Darren Dailies, right? You get them texted to you or emailed to you in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah. Email.
So that could be another option as well. Does anyone else have anything else that could help out with that? Good. Okay, can I journal? I just don't know what to journal about. Lauren's actually the best person to ask about journaling. Do you want to share your journaling thing? I mean, I do, but I don't really follow it.
You guys can keep talking. Let me find it, and maybe I can just send it into the chat.
Okay, yeah, that'd be good. I know she has if you're looking for something really specific, I know that she has like a very specific like outline for a journal. I just kind of write down things I'm grateful for, things that are kind of on my mind and personal development takeaways and stuff like that. But I know that hers is a little bit more structured if that's what you're looking for. My first system was nothing. But Asana is Asana, Lindsay, whoever asked that. So if that is something that you want to use, I have a simple video. I know Emmy has a video. A couple of us have videos out there that explain how to use it. I'm not sure which Lindsay this is. There's a couple of you. Okay, let's see. Yeah, whatever works for you. If you have a file on your phone, I have something like that too. That works. Let's see. Love that thing. Your mind gets bloated with that. Yeah. I want to quit. Month 1 went off. Oh yeah, Emmy wanted to quit. Just seeing if there's any questions. Give me a second. 10x rule. I think these are just all like rah cheerleading things. Can you repeat the type of things? Again, I've gotten paper. Can I repeat what? I'm not sure. Oh, Alexa's going to send them to you. Okay. Sorry, I'm just like, whoever's watching the recordings probably. Okay, can I hang up now? Let's see. My 3 things I'm grateful for. Yeah, Emmy said 3 things she's grateful for, 3 things she wants to focus on the next day, and 3 things looking forward to in life. Oh, all right, she shared that. All right, no questions. Just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. Does anyone have any questions they wanted to ask though? Like, unmute yourself and ask anything. No, we're good. We're good. All right, cool. Well, I hope that fired you up as much as it fired myself up. My armpits are sweaty, and that means I need to go shower again. But it's just passion. That's what it is. But thank you guys for hopping on. I just want to remind you guys we have calls every Monday. So Mondays, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you let your coaches know so that they're on the call so we can have more people on our calls, more friends, more fun. And just make sure that you are doing that little thing that I shared at the end. I'll post it in the team page just if that's something that you want to do, an exercise to kind of like really look at your life now and where you want it to be, and the other things that I said. But thank you again. I appreciate all of you. I hope you have an awesome rest of your night, and I'll see you next week. Bye.